Hello, hello, hello. I am John, and this is my show, The Sports Reckoning. Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do really quick. Now, I was never good at video editing and stuff, but I was able to make do. I'm trying to line this up. Hopefully, it'll work a little bit. I was making do with the way I was doing it, but then, the computers are always doing updates and shit, and they did a new update, and then when I upload my videos from my camera, wouldn't work and shit. I don't know. It's just stuff that's like, this is how it's always been with me, is that everything's extremely fucking difficult for me. And there's a million things that can go wrong. And once any of those things go wrong, that's it. I'm like shut down, right? So we're at that stage now. I'm in the stage of being shut down completely, right? Totally shut. I'm about to just totally get out of here. I'm about to cancel my internet service, like everything. I'm about to shut it down myself and shit, right? There's just so much shit going on that I don't know exactly, right? But it's like, I always tell people they need to talk about my Michael Jackson story, but I already know that they don't know my story. They don't actually understand what it is. And I always kid them to try, and it's like, okay, I always want them to come to me and just, okay, well, ask me a question, but that never fucking happens. And even people that make videos, they don't come asking me questions. And it's like, dude, you're not gonna be able to tell the story and stuff, which I have seen the people do a couple things, which I've been highly impressed with, where they've put so much of my evidence into videos that I was in shock. I was like, who are these people? How do they even know all this stuff, right? So I have seen things happen like that, right? But for the most part, I always feel that people don't understand how to tell my story. They don't actually know the story. So what I'm going to do here is do a basic layout of how I would want Dan the Card Man to make a video. Because this thing, I don't do any editing. I'm not a voice that people will take seriously, because nobody likes me because I'm smarter than everybody. And I say fuck you to everybody because you're all fucking losers and shit, right? I'm not trying to be your fucking friend. I'm not trying to be no fucking internet star. I sure as hell don't want to be no goddamn Hollywood celebrity getting fucked in the ass and shit by the Illuminati motherfuckers. Fuck all that shit. I'm way too old, past all that shit. I don't want any of that shit. But the Michael Jackson being the son of Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson is way bigger and above me. It has nothing to do with my personal needs and my beliefs. It has to be told. The story has to be told. Because not only am I showing you who Michael Jackson's real parents are, which explains that Michael Jackson was actually a virgin, which a virgin cannot be a pedophile because he's a virgin. He's never had any sexual acts. How can you be a pedophile when the act of being a pedophile means that you're sexually abusing children? If you're not having sex with anybody in your whole life, how can you even be a pedophile? It's like, how can you even be gay? If you've never had sex with if you're a man, okay? If you're a man and you've never had sex with another man, are you technically gay? Because the act of being gay is not the act of being attracted to men. It's the act of having sex with them. It's all about the sexual thing, right? So Michael Jackson was a virgin, which that eliminates any of the sex stuff, so he cannot be a pedophile. He can't be. He's a virgin. Right? So explaining all this stuff and everything, it just gets all great. But the other thing, what Billie Jean actually is, what the song. And this is a thing that the world needs to be exposed to, this kind of information, so they can see the reality of how the world actually is, the reality of what kind of artistic genius Michael Jackson actually was, the fucking society of which he had to live in under this lie, and everybody saying, we love you, and then everybody attacking him. Michael can't say anything. He can't tell anybody the truth. All he can do is tell his true story in his songs, but his songs are art, and the dumb population doesn't really understand art. They understand Michael Jackson on his toes and the glitter and the dancing on the videos and look at the awards. They don't understand anything. The art, the music, they don't know anything about it. So that's what I'm trying to do, is to show the population how fucking stupid you are and how easily manipulated you were through your entire life, because Michael Jackson lived and died under the umbrella that he was a Jackson, and he was never a fucking Jackson. His real parents are Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. He was an abandoned child. He was an abandoned child of the original Billie Jean groupie, which was Diana Ross going after Smokey Robinson. That's why this shit's a big deal. It means a lot more than your dumb fucking guys' explanations and understanding of what the fuck is going on. It was funny because when I made that, I was starting to make this video. I was going to start it off being like, okay, now I'm going to talk really nice and slow. I was going to baby talk damn the card man's ass and shit, right? But that shit just doesn't work and shit. I got to go fast. I got a lot to talk through and shit. That's what makes me talk fast and raise my voice and stuff. It's just kind of going fast. I got a lot to do and shit. I'm trying to get through it, and I'm always frustrated all kinds of ways and means and shit, right? So look at. This is how my story would need to be explained by like a Dan the Card Man. And here's the thing, Dan the Card Man. This is the thing where you are a fraud. There is no fucking me asking a question or posing a question. You're a fraud because you're so fucking stupid that you don't know by putting the name Michael Jackson in the fucking headline, the title of your video, that then puts your video into the Michael Jackson homepage. And now that allows Michael Jackson fandom to be introduced into the sports card community. That's the whole purpose of what you're here, is to build the community, the world, what's actually taking place here. And you got community into this small little world, and you don't want anybody else coming in here because you are a fraud. You're stupid. You're fake as fuck. So this is what I say to Dan the Card Man. Make a real video, because I don't do any editing. And like I said, you're a news page. Do news. Do some fucking news. Give the people quality information. Expose the sports card community to another fucking group of people that are in YouTube called the Michael Jackson community. Plus there's the Diana Ross community. There's the Smokey Robinson community. There's the Motown community. There's the whole black community of people out there. There's a whole shitload of communities that gets exposed to the sports card community if my story breaks through the fucking sports card community. You dumb, ignorant motherfuckers. God, you're fucking so stupid. So this is what you got to do. You put on the title of your video, Michael Jackson's real parents, Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson, with a question mark. That's the title of your video, right? Then you start off your video and you say, look there's this guy here in the sports card community named The Sports Reckoning, but he has another page of what he's doing. And now he says that his story relates because Michael Jackson has a lot of collectibles and trading cards, and that's why he's in the sports card community, because I also collect sports cards and I also like just trading cards and other collectibles, of which I've been collecting a lot of Michael Jackson stuff, right? So that you just show people that's who I am. That's why I'm in the card community and how you were introduced to me, right? But then you tell the people, okay, but he has this other page that's called An American Scheme. And that page is 100% dedicated to proving that Michael Jackson's real parents are Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. And if you can see right here, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how this is lining up, but if you can see like right there, I got 533 videos on that page. That investigation of what I've done on this Michael Jackson, the investigation of what I've done, it's phenomenal. It's literally something that it's like they'll teach college courses about my investigation of what I've done and how it took place and all the things of what I had to done. It's the kind of thing that they'll teach college courses about it. It's going to be talked about and reported upon forever and ever and ever. There's only one gigantic taking place in the world. Like out of all the stories in the world, there's only one that is really important. It's my story. There's only one that matters to everybody in the world, that breaks down all the barriers of all the bullshit and just deals with the hard realities of life. This is fucking life. There's only one story. It's my fucking story. And all you motherfuckers are pathetic, stupid, losers, Satan-worshiping morons who don't want to deal with reality, and that's why you're afraid to talk about my fucking story, because it proves how fucking stupid and fake you are. So what you say is, there's this guy in American Scheme. So you show my page, American Scheme, right? Then you would say, he's telling the story about Michael Jackson. He's doing an investigation. So what had happened after that is, now this is in Reddit. Can't see, okay. So this is what happened was one of the guys that was coming around my page asking questions. One of the only people who has constantly asked real fucking questions, demanded answers. It's like, okay, well, if you want to do this, if I'm doing this investigation, he was somebody who randomly he was interested in stuff, but it wasn't like that. It was just kind of random. He came across my page, started looking into it, started seeing it was interesting, started asking me questions, saw that I was able to provide answers, and I had a much more of an investigation. And if I didn't have it, then I would make another video and I would go and investigate. And so he saw how I was doing all this stuff, right? And he saw that it was good, right? This is a guy, James, that we call James L and shit, right? So this is his page and stuff. I don't see his name here and stuff exactly. I'm not sure exactly because it's all got my name. It's all an American scheme. But this is not me. This is James. This guy, James, went into Reddit and he wrote an article about my work, right? And the article in Reddit got a lot of attention. It got a lot, okay? It got a lot of attention. Because it got so much attention, newspapers and actual reporters I guess they follow this Reddit. I guess I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know how any of the stuff in the world these people work. I'm not in that world. I'm isolated as fuck. Like I really have never even held a smartphone. I mean, can you people understand the reality that like, I've never even held a smartphone? Like, do you understand like how separated I am from the world of what's taking place and stuff? What I've been doing for so long and fucking the frustration, isolation and shit. I've been so isolated, taking care of business and shit, doing what I'm doing, that I'm so isolated from the world. I never even held a smartphone. I'm scared. I don't even know how to use it. And that's kind of one of these things about when I'm talking about my internet. I'm thinking about canceling my internet and buying a smartphone because I kind of need to learn how to use one of those. Then maybe I'll have the camera and maybe I'll be able to learn how to make videos to my channel. Maybe I can figure some shit like that out. But the only way I'm going to do that is to like cancel my internet and shit, right? Or else I'm not going to do it. So I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying I might just go away because I'm thinking about I need to learn how to get a fucking smartphone. I don't know anything about that shit, right? I'm so like moving away from society. Society's all moving forward in that way, and I'm just totally being left behind, right? Completely left in isolation with no fucking technology and no understanding how to use nothing. It's just weird, right? But anyway, so the James wrote this story in Reddit, and it got a lot of attention. Because it got a lot of attention, this here, now, this is the Daily Mirror. They've got something they're asking for money, so it kind of messes it up and shit. But hopefully if you can read right there. When I pick it up and shit, my hands can shake. I don't know and stuff too. But it says, curious theory that Michael Jackson's real parents were Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. This is in the Daily Mirror, right? And it says, incredible fan theory claims Michael Jackson was born to a teenage Diana Ross after she fell pregnant to Smokey Robinson. And there's lots of hints appearing to back it up. Okay, so this is a reporter saying that this is a story that's taking place in an investigation, and the reporter says there's lots of hints appearing to back it up, which is this reporter is saying this story has evidence. This is not some fucking wild fucking, now it says curious. It doesn't say wild fucking conspiracy theory. It says curious theory. This thing is curious. This is interesting. And there's lots of facts, hints appearing to back it up because I got real evidence and shit. And the person, when they saw it, they said, this is interesting. These are real fucking reporters and shit who looked at my work and said, this is interesting. This is an interesting investigation. That shit makes sense. You know what? This shit is I can understand this. This makes sense. And you've got facts, evidence and shit, right? So this is one of the articles. Like I said, there's been a lot of articles on my story. It has been reported upon, but it still hasn't broke the right way. But what I'm showing you is that Dan the Card Man, you report on all this low-level quality of bullshit that takes place in the sports car community. This is taking place in the sports car community. This is being reported upon by major news fucking networks. It directly affects the collectibles market and this Michael Jackson's trading cards, Diana Ross, and all that shit. And you refuse to talk about it because you are fake. You're fake as fuck. Right? So then the Mirror did that one. Then this one happened. This is the Guardian. Big fucking paper. Big fucking news operation, right? So this guy too here, this guy that's over here, his name is Simon Hattenstone. He's the guy who wrote this article, and I watched a video about him, and he is really interesting. This guy is a serious fucking reporter who's been doing this shit for years and years and years. This guy asked Smokey Robinson to his face about my fucking story, right? So you scroll, this is the Guardian. This is the interview that Smokey just did because he said 83. It's his new interview on the Guardian. So you go roll this down, right? you down to this part here where this picture over here appears. And right there at the bottom of it, it's right here, it says, okay, so hopefully you can see that. I'll hold it there just in case. Okay, so it's this part right here. It says, I asked if you heard the rumor about him and Ross. Okay, so I'm going to read that if you guys can't see it or whatever. Okay, so that reporter asked Smokey Robinson about my story. That reporter knew that my story's got evidence, that it's a good fucking investigation place. It's relevant. It's important. It was so important. Just think about the reality. That reporter who doesn't even know me, he probably doesn't even know my American Ski page. He probably doesn't even know anything about it. He heard my story, saw the evidence of what it was, and it was so interesting that when he had his opportunity to ask Smokey Robinson, he asked him about it. Do you know how quality my fucking story had to be to get that fucking reporter to ask Smokey Robinson about it? Dude, and you motherfuckers still can't report upon this shit in your own community where it affects your own community? You motherfuckers are fucking losers. So this says right here, he says, I asked, this is the reporter talking to Smokey. He says, I asked if he heard the rumor about him and Ross. There's a, are the parents, oh, I thought that he said no first. So I asked if he heard the rumor about him and Ross. There's a story, I say, that you two are the real parents of Michael Jackson. The dude asked him to his face, have you heard that this and I'm like, me in my little world, total isolation with, I don't got any real fucking ability to make videos. Nobody likes me. Everybody blocks me. Somehow in this world, my story, because it's got real power to it. It's got a truth and people are fucking drawn to it. People that really want the truth, they're drawn to my story. And it has got some attention. I don't even understand how, I'm working on it, but to me, I feel like nobody knows my story. I feel like I haven't done anything, but I know that this stuff does happen, that it is happening, and my story's got power, and it's making moves on its own and shit, right? Without me even doing shit anymore. It's working on its own and shit, right? So it says, let me start again. So I asked if you heard the rumor about him and Ross. There's a story, I say, that you two are the real parents of Michael Jackson. And Smokey says, they say I. So he didn't instantly say his parents. Oh, that's not true, right? That's what he should have said. If the story's not true, it should have just instantly been, oh, well, that's not true. No, I'm not. No. Michael's part of the Jackson. Remember, the Jacksons were signed to Motown, right? They're part of the Motown family. This story should be offensive to Smokey Robinson. It should be so outlandish, right? Oh, somebody's saying you and Diana are Michael's parents. What? Shut the fuck up. If it's not true, it all should have been like, shut the fuck up. That is definitely not true. Man, these people will make up anything. It should have been along those kinds of lines, the context of his reaction to this, but that's not what the fuck happened. He says, they say I'm the baby daddy. And then the reporter says, his voice raises an octave. He, ho, ho, ho. They say Diana, Ross, and I had Michael. The reporter says, yes. Smokey says, oh my God. I never heard that one, man. That's pretty good. That's funny. I wonder if she's heard it. I'm going to call her and ask her. He's still laughing. That's funny. Dude, that is the exact response you should have got from a guy from fucking 60 years conspiracy of what he's pulled off with the biggest star in the world and nobody ever understood it, and then somebody fucking hit him. Boom! What about this story? That's the reaction you should get from him. Total fucking shock, laughing his ass off, giggling. He doesn't understand, like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? How the fuck did this happen? 60 years, nobody's ever asked me about that, and now you're coming out hitting me with the fucking, the real truth? He had no fucking, why does he gotta call Diana? Why is the story so funny, and why is he so interested in it? He says, oh my God, I never heard that. Man, that's pretty good. What? If the story wasn't true, it never would have came out like that. He loved the story. He couldn't believe the reality. It's God. It's the reality that God is real. That when this happened, he's like, God is real. I can't believe, God, how this happens in this world, and God works in mysterious ways. And he's just like, oh my God, in total fucking shock. It happened. Somebody asked him. And he sure as hell did not at all in any way say, no, this is not true. he showed exactly the reaction of what he should have shown if my story is true. He reacted exactly the way that I would think he would react. It's like, dude, and you motherfuckers in the sports car community can't report upon this story, right? So then I say, like, the parts of the evidence is this is, like, if you want to know, like, I can't play this right now because if I play the audio the way I'm doing it, it won't play, right? So I'll just tell you, like, what it is. This is, the headliner of this video says, Diana Ross interview 1991. Who was your first love? Okay, that's what it's titled. This is Diana Ross on the Arsenio Hall show. Arsenio Hall says, who was your, remember, this is 1991. This is 1991. And Arsenio says, who was your first love? And she says, oh, Smokey Robinson was my first love. I really loved him. And she says, I was best friends with his niece, Sharon Burstyn, and I used to sleep over at her house. And I used to listen to the Miracles playing down in the basement. And she says, that's before the Motown. She says, that's before the Supremes. That's before everything, which is perfectly aligned exactly with the date of where Michael Jackson is conceived. Michael Jackson is conceived around New Year's of 1958, like right around that time. Smokey Robinson met Berry Gordy in August of 1957. Michael's born a year later. Smokey Robinson meets Berry Gordy. A year later, Michael's born. So a few months after that, he's conceived, which is exactly the date. Diana nails down exactly the date because she says, I heard Smokey's song on the radio and I realized that you could actually make a record. And she says, that was a big time. Smokey's first song came on the radio in February of 1958. It's exactly the time what I'm saying. Right after Smokey met Berry, they started working together, making a song, released the song on the radio. So after the song gets released and all this is going on, now Diana is already pregnant. She got pregnant after Smokey met Berry, but before the song hits the radio. Now she's pregnant. The song hits the radio. Diana's thinking there's a big story about Diana. She always says that she went to the school called Cass Tech, and they always say she says she studied fashion design. And I was always saying no. When she first goes to the school, the reason she's going there is one of the reasons is because she's pregnant, and her field of study aligned with her being a young mother. I was always saying no, it's not fashion design. I was always saying the reason that she got into fashion is because she's learning the skills and traits of being a young mother, which would include sewing skills, right? And then I found a video of Diana Ross. It's on Inside the Actor Studio. And the guy is talking to her about Cass Tech, about going to Cass Tech. And she's talking about being a fashion designer and stuff. But then she says, oh, but in the beginning, it was home economics. Just like I say, no. In the beginning, when she went there, it was because it would be more of a home economic skills of what she was learning. And through the home economic skills, there was sewing classes. So then after she abandons the baby, but she's still at the school and she can't go to Motown until she's 18. Berry Gordy's saying, not till you're 18 and shit, you can't come here because Berry wants to fuck her. And Berry doesn't want to be fucking these young girls who aren't 18. That's really what the whole thing was about. It has no idea. It's not that he doesn't want to. No, there's a big part of it because when you're 18, then he doesn't have to pay for schooling. That's part of it. But the other underlying issue was Berry didn't want to be fucking these girls who aren't 18. That's really what it was because he knew he was going to be fucking all the girls that came in there. That's what it was. I mean, and later on, if you people don't know, Diana Ross's first known child, the father is Berry Gordy. And what happened when that child got born? Diana lied to the child and told that child that her father was the dude that she had married. She had married this guy, Robert Ellis Silverstein, which is the father of like Tracy Ellis Ross. Okay, so Diana, as she's getting out of her relationship with Berry Gordy around 1970, and she starts dating her manager, this white Jewish guy, Robert Ellis Silverstein. But the first kid, she's pregnant already. But it's Berry. So while she's married to the Silverstein, she's pregnant with the kid from Berry Gordy. And then the daughter's totally black, but they're telling her, no, that white dude, he's your dad. That's like the same thing Michael did with his children and shit. Oh, you got a white mother, so you don't need to look black and shit. It's like same kind of shit, right? Oh, my God, right? It's just crazy. But this video right here, this is the one where Diana tells you she was in love with Smokey, sleeping in his house at the exact moment in time in history where Michael Jackson is conceived, right? In this video, it shows that. This is what you would show. Then you would show, like, this is kind of evidence. Then you go back to this Diana Ross on the Merv Griffin show. I believe this is 1971. And Diana's in the audience here. And then right here, because the color on that is real bad too. There's Michael. Michael's in the audience. This is the kind of stuff I'm showing you, that Diana Ross had control over Michael Jackson. Jackson in a way that she could have a relationship with him, of which Jacksons had no control over, because there's no way the Jacksons are allowing this relationship to develop this way without other Jacksons being there. They're not there. It's Michael and Diana. There's this relationship, and Diana introduces Michael on this right here. She says, yeah, we got one of them out here. She says, there he is. That's Michael. That's my child. And then she says, he's always been like a son or a brother to me. She has to throw in the brother, but she always says he's always been. She's just met this kid. This is like 1971. Technically, she supposedly has just met the kid within the last couple of years. But she says, he's always been like a son to me. And then she says, they make me work hard because basically I'm doing it for him. She doesn't say I'm doing it for them, for children. No, she says they make me work hard. At Motown is what she's talking about. They make me work hard because I'm doing it for him, because she's trying to get her kid back. She's trying to do stuff because she knows in the process of all this stuff, she has abandoned her child, and her child is out there. Her child's out there in the world just living his life. And, and that's not just her child, it's her child of her and Smokey. That was her first love. She loves this kid. And as soon as she comes around, he's got all the talent, you instantly see. That's why the first album is Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, because they were going to have this relationship together that nobody would be able to explain. But so they covered it up with like saying, oh, it's just business. It's just a business relationship. You can see the cover up is happening instantly. It's already happening, the cover up. Right, so you show this video with Diana calling Michael her son. I do everything for him. These are the videos that you would show, like evidence that I show to line up with my story and shit, right? Then you would show something like this, and this is what I say is like, these are the kind of collectibles that are out there and available in the world. Now, this one is not cheap. The guy who's selling this is a legitimate guy. He sells all kinds of high quality, famous autographs of like people who have died. He's got quality shit, right? This guy's got quality shit, but he has this badge right here. See, it's got the authenticity. It's got 6 autographs on it. It's a badge. See, it's a crew pass. It was one of the crew employees that worked on the USA for Africa, the We Are the World, on that video shoot, that one night in music history and shit. You're talking about. They've got a documentary. It's going to come on in a couple days. There's a documentary coming on Netflix about the We Are the World. If any of you people have I don't have Netflix, but if any of you people have Netflix, you should watch this We Are the World documentary that's coming out. There's a documentary. Not only is there a We Are the World documentary coming out, they just started filming Michael Jackson's Michael Jackson has a major motion picture coming out about him that's being directed by major directors. It's a major studio production with high level quality director, big as big can be, the biggest shit. Like, it's the guy who directed the movie Training Day. He's done a bunch of other shit too, but like Training Day, the guy who directed that's the guy who's directing this Michael Jackson movie. The dude's fucking interesting. He's a worldwide renowned director. He's a big time. They're making a Michael Jackson movie, but I fuck the person that they got to play Michael Jackson. I personally think it's the worst choice they could have got. It's a son of Jermaine Jackson, but the son that his name's Jafar Jackson, or whatever. Okay, but the mother was dating like Randy Jackson, one of the other, had children with her, but I guess he wasn't married to her. And then Jermaine stole her somehow. Jermaine ended up hooking up with her and having children. And that child of them is the guy that's going to play Michael Jackson. And because I hate Jermaine, and I already know what Jermaine's doing. Jermaine's trying to set this guy up to play Michael Jackson, so now they can steal Michael Jackson's legacy. They can go back and tour as the fucking Jackson 5. They can go back and tour as the Jacksons. and they'll have it all in-house with the kid now playing the Michael Jackson role. And because Jermaine knows that the Jacksons really ain't shit without Michael. You need a Michael. And this kid is going to play that role. So I hate him. Now they're going to go back out there stealing from Michael. All that. I fucking hate those fuckers and shit, right? But so anyways, badge here, it's a dual signed by Diana and Michael. And now I've looked to find a lot of, and so there's all the other signatures are really people too, okay? But I don't know if you can see it better that way or, shit. Oh well. To that thing. Oh, I was wondering where the enlarge button was. I was like, where's the goddamn enlarge button? So they moved it to a different thing. I hit it by accident. Okay, so this is the badge, okay? This is the badge, and it's signed by Diana Ross and Michael Jackson on a We Are the World event. So it took place at that event. And Michael and Diana, they're important. The words they sing on, it's like Michael sings and then Diana comes on and sings on the We Are the World. And then they're standing basically right next to each other on the cover of the album. They're like right there, and Smokey's there. It's super important too, because that's one of these events where Diana, Michael, and Smokey are all there. They're all right there together and shit, right? So to have a dual autographed badge from We Are the World that's signed by Diana and Michael. The Michael's a little harder to see. It's this one right here, because it's Bob Dylan is down here, and the Michael's right there. So I think I've got it. And hopefully that helped. I don't know. You're fucking it all up and shit. Okay, a dual autograph, Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. That's his mom. You know how valuable that is? How valuable is that thing? Like, what's it really worth? I would think it's fair to say that thing's more in the $50,000 range. That thing should be more like $50,000. Like when my story breaks, imagine when my story breaks and you hit the market right off the bat, boom, the story breaks and bam, one of the big items coming up for auction is this item. This item, a dual signed Michael and Diana Ross at a historic event. It's signed there on that crew pass. I think it's important. I think it's really fucking cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's fucking cool, right? But it's not just cool. It's fucking valuable. That is valuable. Having a dual auto of Diana and Michael on this kind of item, I think it's special. I think it's really fucking cool, because you would have a choice. Would you rather have a photograph that's a Michael and Diana photograph that's signed by them, which would be cool, but which would look better? But when I think about the reality, it's like, which one's more important? What's an actual better collectible, right? Unless there's certain pictures that are highly, highly important. Because there's one picture that it's the photograph that was used for the Motown 25 advertisement. It's this photo. It was actually used. But when I show the people what that picture actually is, how important it is, and then I explain, see, this is why it's this picture. That's why it was this picture that they used as the advertisement for the fucking Motown 25. When you actually see the picture and I explain what is actually taking place, when you actually see it as art, what's actually taking place here, it's phenomenal. It's so fucking incredible. It's this picture, one of these pictures. This is the kind of thing I've been looking for that photo. I've found cheap imitate or whatever, but I've never found like a quality print of that photo, because that's one of these things that I've been looking for a while. I can't find one. I always am looking for Motown 25 advertisements and looking for like type 1 photos. It's like, dude, if I could get a type 1 photo of that photo, and then if you had that photo, a type 1 photo, and it was dual signed by Diana and Smokey, I think that could be like what I'm saying. This is specific one photo. If you had that photo, dual signed by Michael and Diana, I think that's $1 million item. And this is the kind of thing of what I'm trying to offer up to the community. And this is why I don't respect the Dan the Card Man, or like people like Sports Card Dad, anybody that's doing any form of journalism here in the sports card community, that they can't relate this information of what I'm saying that these treasures are out there. And they are drastically undervalued because Michael Jackson's name has not been cleared up. He's still got some bad fucking reputation to his name. My Story clears all that up. And it takes him to a monster height of a new level, because now we start understanding the songs and you understand his art. It is phenomenal, the story of what it's going to do and how it's going to transition all this stuff to them. And then it's Diana. See, here's the thing, like what I always say too, is like, you got all these people out here worshiping like Jesus Christ, okay? Not one single person who is alive on this planet ever even knew anybody who knew fucking Jesus Christ. We never were around in that era, and we all know that history evolves in different ways, and people tell the stories of what they want. So how can you trust a story like that? And I'm saying, you guys all believe that, and you all dedicate, and you get down on your knees, and you worship your Lord and Savior. Oh my God, right? And I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck. But my story, Diana Robinson are still alive. And that's what I'm saying. You guys want to go out and worship all this Jesus Christ shit. My story is happening right now in the real world with people who are still fucking alive. We can get some fucking resolution to this fucking story. We can get the truth. And motherfuckers do nothing about it. And you get people like Leslie, Aaron Carter, people who were fans and friends of Michael Jackson and shit, dying. They're just dying away and they don't know the truth. They never got the chance to hear that truth. Be able to fucking see how that affected their lives. And there's people dying every fucking day who need this fucking information, and all you piece of shit motherfucking scumbags are withholding it from them. You are horrible fucking people. Motherfuckers. When the fuck are you motherfucking losers gonna step up and do something that fucking matters with people who are alive in the real world right fucking now? Fucking losers, man. So that's all I can say. You guys are losers. That's all that it comes down to when it comes down. You guys are stupid. You are evil. You're fucking losers, pathetic fucking morons. That's why you buy your fucking crappy collectibles that you buy. Most of the shit that you buy is crap. And you keep pumping that crappy shit onto a fucking community so that you can think, oh, it's not crap, it's worth money because all these other people like my crap too. It's crap. You guys don't know what is important. You don't know what a real fucking collectible is. You don't know who are real famous, talented people who will fucking live for eternity. You guys are pathetic and shit, right? And I prove it every fucking day. That's why none of you motherfuckers like me and shit. Fuck all you. That's how I always end the stories now. Fuck all you motherfucking losers.